Greetings, everyone. This is me again, Zara Bazak. Sorry, the mic is didn't know it was. It's saying connected twice. So, okay. Greetings again. Hope all of you are doing great here. All the subscribers who don't come here, they stay away. Anyways, back. I'm back to help you leave Islam. So I found another problem here, another ayat in Surah Naml, which then reminded me of Surah Taha ayats, where Samiri says, the soul inclined to me to do this. So I've been trying to work this out and even asked Shia Sayyid about this. In Surah Taha, when Samiri says, the soul inclined to me, and why, I mean, the soul inclined to him, and to do what he saw was the messenger's footprints, um, messenger's horses. This is Gabriel, they say. He came to Samiri when Moses was uh, on the mountain, right, having a communion with God. So I asked the Sayyid, like, um, so here was this sign given to him, a miracle, whereby the calf was made and all this. Where is it? Yes. Surah Taha at 96. So just give you a background on this. And so this is the topic, right? Problem of signs and soul in Quran. Signs and soul problem in Quran. Hope you can hear me loud and clear. I'm a little bit away from this thing tab of mine. So, but hope you can hear me. Okay, so the background is I was having problems with this, like the soul enticed me to do this, but then the messenger came to the Samiri, and there are always these signs God says in the Quran that, give you assurance, and now I found an ayat on that. Then why would uh, Moses, uh, Moses was on the mountain, so why would this happen? Like, what kind of a test is this? At times, God says, I send signs, or most of the times, like all the time, I think, in the Quran. And here a sign was sent to the Samiri, to a messenger. He saw the messenger. And so I took a handful of dust, right? Surah Taha, ayat 96. So I was told that the importance of the messenger, whatever your soul may say, or Jibrail may come to you and say things, but if the Imam of the time is absent, you should not take action because it's so important that you wait for the Khalifa of God more than these signs and miracles happening in your life. But actually, the Samiri saw the messenger. So in our life, in our lives, we are told that even if miracles are happening, like karamat they call it, phenomena. There's no phenomena, sorry, phenomenon happening in our life. Miracles only are given to the prophets, that we are told, and and Ahlul Bayt. So then, what happens is, how can we? No, then uh, if that takes you away from your religion and to something else, some other god, or like you think, oh, then that's not true miracle, magical. So yeah, like here in Surah Namal 13, but when there came, Surah Namal 13, but when they came to them are visible signs, they said this is obvious magic. And then Surah Namal 14, just, okay, ayat 14 says, and they rejected them while their inner selves were convinced thereof, out of injustice and haughtiness. So see how was the end of the corrupters. I hope you're getting it. Here, the not the heart is guided, but the inner selves were convinced of, and the nafs. So God sometimes says him selves, like the soul is involved in this, in that self, in yourself. The soul is involved, and sometimes he says like himself without the soul, bringing the soul in, right? Just another thing, ilm laduni, like this man was sent to Moses, so from us, so it's like ladun, it's like from, and the soul is not involved there, addressing himself without the soul. At times, God does this, and at times with the soul. So it's confusing when I realized that. For me, I wasn't sure how to bring it like God's soul. Like Moses, I prepared for myself. My nafs is used, so the soul is in that myself, not the other way. My me, or yeah, like that me, just without the soul. So there's two different Arabic words for that in the Quran ayats we see. Like when the oppressed men, women, and children pray, "Oh God, send us from you." So that in that you, in that yourself, the soul is missing. You see? So it's a different word used in Arabic in that ayat in Surah Nisa. A helper and a protector, something like that. So this also a problem, and then to see why this messenger would come here when Moses is on the mountains, communion with God, and he's told his people to wait. I'll be coming back. Let's see. I'm going to meet God. Find out something else, more signs or messages from God. While this is happening down here, there's a Samiri has seen the messenger. It's quite a tragedy, and he said, "Thus did my soul entice me." You see, here a miracle has happened through a messenger. So that part where the Sayyid, the Shia, explained to me that Moses, you have to wait for Moses. Even if a miracle, it wasn't, didn't quite sink into me. I was still confused about this. Like, why would God confuse people? Okay, Imam is important and you have to wait for the Imam, but the messenger has come here to test them, they say, the Muslims. And then this is a great sign that the calf started to. So and this is very dangerous. Okay, hoof, a hoof print in the sand left by angel Gabriel's horse. Your own footnote from Quran.com says this. So you see the struggle, the soul, then they have signs coming. And now you see here in Surah Namal ayat 14, 27th chapter of the Quran, and they rejected them while their inner selves, like their nafs, it's their souls, were so deep, like your soul is convinced, says, we're convinced thereof, of the signs, right? A previous ayat, visible signs we sent to them. And they said this is obvious magic. So for them, these signs from coming from prophets and messengers, whoever they are, here is magic. They don't see it as the signs. While the prophets, for the prophets, these are signs of Allah. And maybe the polytheists, or they see it in a different way. That their audience, the gods and goddesses they worship, those are the real signs coming from God, sent to them, through them. Their idols or whatever they pray for and all this, those are great signs. So this See, there's a confusion here. If someone can make me understand this properly, so I had to do my own research now. Considering Shia, Sunni, Muslim, Islamic thought, and all the rest of it in Islam, Quran only, and how I'm still confused. You see, how can God do this? As it is, life is very difficult. For so shaitan outside whispering, then seek refuge in Allah all the time. Then the okay, so let's see. Now you see, since this Shia Sayyid told me that the messenger is so important of the time. Okay, he's leading the people, but now Moses got it later on. Such an important messenger, prophet Moses, right? Could it be he gets it in Surah Kaf ayat now? I haven't put Surah Kaf ayats here, but now he's searching for some. You see, what is he searching for here? A man, some miracle happening. Okay, at that time, he's a messenger. He's leading the people with the signs of Allah and all the messages from Allah. Moses was, but now here there's something like going on in Surah Kaf. This Moses needs someone higher than him. Could the gods be playing with him now? Although the Khizr killed that boy, maybe made him come alive again, but showing us, maybe this is coming from the polytheists of that time. For the Jews, I already said this, this could be a discourse between the Jews and the polytheists of that time. He said, well, if you follow me, do not ask me. You see, now before this, let me begin with the proper ayat in Surah Kaf. And how can you have patience now? When he tells his page, companion, Moses. You see here, now Moses is like a miracle has happened. When they had gone still further, he told his young man, bring us our lunch. Can I start from why Moses was, I hope this, and so Moses told his young, I'll give, I shall not give up until I reach the place where both seas meet, even though I spend ages doing so, right? Why? I think Moses was going after some higher truths. And who does he need now? Now it's not God on the mountains. So, anyways, the Jews and the Christians will look at this and say Prophet Muhammad has really messed up our Abrahamic religion. That's in a way true, right? So we see this. I wonder if the story is, I don't think the story I've ever read in the Bible, I don't know if it is there or I've forgotten. So this story is not perhaps in the Bible, but when they reached the junction between them, they forgot their fish and it took its course into the sea, slipping away. 61 ayat of Surah Kaf. Then 62. So when they had passed beyond it, Moses said to his boy, bring us our morning meal. We have certainly suffered in this, our journey, fatigue. Now, Moses' page companion, boy, forgets and says that Satan made me forget. This is the ayat 63 of Surah Taha. He said, did you see when we retired to the rock? Indeed, I forgot the fish, and none made me forget it except Satan. So now they have to retrace their footsteps. Problem. All the time, Satan coming to Moses' page at times, at this time, then I should mention it. This is what I was saying all the time, Satan. And it took its course into the sea, amazingly, yani, ajaban, yani, now a miracle, marvelously, it went into the sea. And then Moses realizes, oh God, Satan made his page maybe it's Joshua. And from the Bible, I know that Moses and Joshua were close. Moses said, "That is what we were seeking." So they returned following the footprints. So they retraced their footsteps. And they found a servant from among our servants. Now let's see. You see, now it is from our servants, Ib- okay, just let me see. Ibadi. So this is a servant who worships God. Then they found a servant, Abdan, from our servants, huh, whom we had given mercy. Oh, rahmatan. Oh my goodness. And this is higher than Moses. He's higher. He's got higher knowledge. And from us. See now, us here, the nafs in, how would you, let me just, but how come Dina from us. Now you see here, nafs, soul, is missing. It's just from us. And we had taught him from us, again, laduna, ilme laduna, knowledge. You see this? So one who has knowledge of the book Solomon with Solomon. Now here the Shias, how they reconcile this Khizr. Sometimes it's Imam Ali hidden. So, but here even the Shias say that it is Khizr. This is not Imam Ali, right? Who has knowledge from Allah, laduna, ilme laduni, right? God taught him. Now Moses is getting it, but this is not in the Bible like this, right? I think this whole story is not in the Bible. Moses said to him, "May I follow you on the condition that you teach me from what you have been taught of sound judgment?" Huh? Now Moses needs this one. So what a tragedy! Like against the Samiri, Moses says, "Do not touch me." God sent sign there. A miracle happened. Calf started to make a lowing sound. The calf came alive, although the foot notes say in this Quran.com under that ayat that's not what the Quran says, but the Quran says that it made a lowing sound. The calf came alive, made a lowing sound. And so now Moses has someone higher than him. What a tragedy we have here. So for the life of me, I couldn't understand that Moses was so important there. Of course, as a leader, as an imam, as a prophet, as a khalifa, he you can't you should ignore that even Gabriel, if he comes, sends his horse, God signs there to test you, because here the Shia thought, the Sayyid, the Shia, is that it's because Moses was a leader for the people there, and now here he's come in search. So you should ignore all those miracles happening. Even if a messenger, Gabriel, comes to you. But Gabriel doesn't tell Samiri that you are God or something. See? Just and Samiri sees Gabriel or his horse and takes the footprints. So and then the soul is inclined to evil, and then the soul has certainty. Uh, the soul is given certainty with signs. Let's see, I'm trying to work this out actually, whether I'm going about it the right way or the wrong way. I don't know, but I'm going some way trying to figure this out. For the life of me, I couldn't figure this out. Problem? Okay, I understand that Moses was a leader at that time, but now he needs a higher leader to teach him. I don't understand that. So now, if the polities were here, they would say, "Oh my God, this Khizr, who has ilm laduni and has mercy from us." Oh my goodness, was Moses deprived of this mercy? I mean, you see, now even the messengers are, yeah, mercy from us who has. See the 65 ayat of it. So sorry, I'm not prepared and I'm quite disorderly in my way. Hope you understand. Yeah, but I assure you that you may think you are quite sure in Islam, but you're not. So they say, there's a saying: if you can't convince them, not that I'm here to convince you, I'm here to help you to see for yourself. If you can't convince them, then confuse them. But this is now. Could this be the from the polities of God coming down on earth? Like then they found a servant, God says. So God is always like my servant, who is above Moses in knowledge and mercy, whom we had given mercy from us. What is this going on? So partially okay, that part where the Shia part, I understand that when the messenger is there, but there's someone else who is above, and yet here God calls him a servant. Yes, we are servants of God, but I tell you, I mean, nothing will satisfy you until God here comes and suffers. And then something that the gods are trying to make me understand, Hindu gods. So there's now someone above. You see all these problems. The only thing was to make you, give you, now signs are coming and souls are now convinced. But Surah Sajda, going back to Surah Sajda 13, my question long time ago, I started to, some time back in my life, why wouldn't God give us guidance in ourselves rather than through messengers, right? That someone, then a Shia elderly lady told me, tried to tell me, but I just felt like I had to, the question was asked. Yes, that God would say, no, that you, then we would say that we didn't get guidance from God. But, my question was like, I think I didn't put it forth properly to her, was that why didn't, like Surah Sajda, like he could have just given it. Maybe I even said that, and probably uh, the Shia lady who was my therapist didn't get, was trying to give me reasons, just to, so I don't know. But now you see, Moses is looking for someone who has ilm laduni from, and then in Surah Taha we have that dua, pray like this, because Prophet Muhammad also prayed like that. Oh Allah, increase me in knowledge. For I mean, through Prophet Muhammad, God is teaching His believers how to pray. Increase me in knowledge. Now Moses doesn't pray like this, oh Lord, but it's in Surah Taha. At the Moses, after Moses' story, oh Allah, increase me in knowledge. But now Moses is coming here wanting a higher person than himself, who has more knowledge, who is also a servant of Allah, but he is whom we had given mercy. There, Moses was prepared for the nafs of Allah. In Surah Taha, we're told. Here, see, all these divisions happening, even though they are servants of Allah. So all these problems, and then sometimes we're told, it should the not the signs come to. Oh Allah, do not let our hearts, even the hearts can go astray. So the believers pray like this: oh Allah, do not make our hearts go astray after Thou has guided it. All right, all these problems coming up. You see, so uh, just was I felt there was too much distance and division in this one Allah belief, but so many, like a messenger going after the, what I said earlier in Surah Kaf, Moses, the prophet, great, one of the greatest prophets of his time, and for all times, I think, for the Jews. And even in the Quran, a lot is mentioned about Moses, very little about Jesus Christ, but he gives life to the dead and things like that. But a lot is mentioned about Moses, and he's a prophet. So inner selves were convinced thereof. You see, this year again in Surah Namal, ayat 14, they're blamed that their inner selves were convinced. Finally, their souls were convinced out of, but out of injustice and haughtiness, pride, this arrogance. So see how was the end of the corruptors. Okay, you get it? So Samiri was convinced in his soul, or his soul led him suritaha. No, his soul enticed. Here, Samiri is seeing the sign of the messenger, Gabriel, no other but Gabriel. It's not even Shaitan coming to test Samiri. And then the soul problem, you see, with the signs. How can God say here that I send signs through messengers? What? That their souls would be convinced. Yes, and they said these messengers were showing us magic, our visible signs through the messengers, right? So this much, yes, maybe Surah Namalai 13 to 14 and the previous ones before these, that the messengers were showing them signs and they said it's obvious magic. And then they rejected them while their souls were convinced thereof. So wasn't Samiri convinced in his soul? But then here we're told that the messenger with the sign, so, in Surah Taha 96, when I discussed this, these ayahs, they said no, messenger with the signs. Something seems like a problem here for me. Just didn't. So you see, sometimes like you can't even trust your soul unless, like, let's say my soul is giving me signs that I'm reincarnated, and I see outside signs, and I pray to God, and God is showing me signs, and I even pray to Imam Mahdi for intercession, right? And I get dreams and all this, that whether or not you believe in reincarnation, it is that it's true, right? So, and Sayyid Ali has told me, or sending me a message, who has knowledge of the unseen. So he sends me this note, whether or not, or whether or not reincarnation is, God knows what the message was in my dream, from God, from godly man, servant of Allah, who has knowledge of the unseen. So I got that Surah, I think it's in Surah Rad, who has knowledge from God. So this, and we have to be wary of the soul. This is such a tragedy, I tell you. This going back to Surah Sajda. ayat. You see, why would God do this? This is a great tragedy. Not give us Surah Sajda. My goodness. So yeah, here it is. Could this soul? How could the soul be convinced? I mean, I'm taking it as a soul. I don't think people would take it like that. They would just say the person, the self, you, or but this nafs. You see, we have to fight the nafs amara. When the God says that He uses nafs, so this nafs is the one we have to fight. This is the ego self. It has the ego self also, the nafs. So many problems with this nafs also. Then we have shaitan, like shaitan making even Moses' page boy forget Moses' assistant. Shaitan made him forget. You see, all these problems coming up, I think we should. So I went to Jiddu Krishnamurti again for this. Oh, God. And if we had willed, we could have given every soul its guidance. So please will it, right? Since you can. If we had willed, yes. So, God, why don't you will to give every soul? Then finish. Khatam shud. Fight between Satan, self, nafs amara, nafs. Uh, then you come to nafs mutmaina stages. Sufis take it, you know. So where's that nafs amara, the fiery soul? That's it. I mean, God, this is the tragedy, Surah Sajda at 13 for you people. You don't see it. Then when I tell you that why God has sent messengers, this, that, then you give me reasons. It's really something. I don't want to laugh about this because it makes me so, but it makes me really sad. What a tragedy. So where was I going now? Nafs amara. You see, there are many nafs. You have to fight these stages of nafs. Nafs amara, the lower nafs, all this. Yeah, Zainab Academy. This must be Shia. Understanding the three types of nafs are there. So nafs amara, it means we are subjugated by it. We are. So we have this. Dr. Israr Ahmad also. Nafs amara. Vikishya. Let's go to Vikishya. So this may be in the Quran. Nafs al amara. Acha, Quran. Uh, Surah 12 ayat. This is that Yusuf's one. Psychological caprice is said to be the same as the commanding soul. Moreover, the struggle against the soul, the greater jihad, which when I read Jiddu Krishnamurti, this is violence against the self also. But they say Muslim Islam says that Bilqis was doing like take Bilqis's example. I have sinned against myself, my soul, by worshipping, although she got everything, by worshipping the sun as God, she went lower. In hadiths, is the struggle with the commanding soul. Acha, hadiths also. And the concupiscent soul is a psychological state. Evil commanding soul. This shaitan has come in our soul. Now the problem of evil also. The commanding soul is often mentioned along with al-nafs al-lawamana, the self-critical or blaming soul. And then we have the nafs al-mutma'ina, kam radiya wal-mardiya, Surah Fajr ayat, enter my heaven. Nafs mutma'ina. the notion, the evil commanding soul. Why has God made this evil, right? He didn't tell us. He said that the commanding soul as the lowest degree of the soul. Yeah, when the attack was happening, I was like, oh my God, from my heart self, I'm going low. I can't help it. Then you see all the nonce problems. I became like a witch, abusing, cursing anyone, being angry. God, that was it. It's like evil had taken over me. So, sameness of human identity and various souls. You don't, prophet, military battles described as smaller jihad, greater jihad. This, the Allama Tabatabai believes that the struggle against the soul in this hadith is a struggle against the commanding soul. And even Allama Majlisi cites a hadith to the effect that your greatest enemy is your soul, yourself. Forget shaitan, everything. Yourself is your greatest enemy, and who is your greatest friend? And Murtaza Mutahari cites the hadith. The warrior is one who struggles against his soul, the best warrior. We are told this is jihad akbar, the self, jihad with the self, greater jihad is with the self, not with anybody else. Fight with yourself, yourself, yourself. Best thing, right? Just keep fighting with the self. Don't fight with. First, try to go above. Fight, 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 fight until you reach this mutmaina. So I have to follow Imam Hussein for that. Because this is for Imam Hussein, the Shaheed and the Surah Fajr. Come, enter my heaven. Fighting with the self. But Imam Hussein didn't have to fight with himself. We have to fight with ourselves. Imam Hussein, that yes, Imam Hussein had to, he wasn't even, he had to fight with Yazid because they had closed all the doors of peace, reconciliation. No, no, it's not true. She asked, my Lord has honored me. And so humiliated, my Lord has humiliated me. But you do not honor the orphan, no, no. And you do not encourage one another to feed the poor. And you consume inheritance with devouring. You love and greedily use up anything you inherit. And you love wealth with immense love. Don't we all love money, money, money? If I had some money, then I would, yeah, I would be so free. I would probably go to a country where I like going, staying there, and wow, money is really going to jet private whenever I want to go. Money is so important, but this heart calls me to, ah, oh yes, don't. When my father had all the money and being separated from a teacher, no sightseeing, no hotel, Gothenburg, Norway, France, Paris. I was so depressed. God, yeah, so, yeah. Oh, what am I saying? Money is very important. Yes, when you are larger, when you are, and then you see you have to depend on the capital system. When you are much poor, helpless, you can't. And your Lord has come, and the angels rank upon rank. Your Lord is appears. But this what they mean is, who is the Lord? The Christians will say, you fools, this is our Jesus Christ coming. Although literally the word Rabbuka mean your Lord will come. And when the Lord cometh, and takan taka, safan safa, angels in rows, and there'll be takan taka. So Lord is coming. Prepare the way. Repent. Add John the Baptist. And brought within you. You see, don't, you Muslims are going to miss out when the Lord cometh that day. What if you miss out? And Imam Mahdi is the Lord of the earth. Sahib Zaman, Safan Safa, Dakan Daka. Where's Dakan Daka? Maybe it was before this. Yes, pounding of the earth. And brought that day is hell near. That day man will remember, but how to him will be the remembrance. He will say, oh, I wish I had sent ahead for my life some good, but some of us, we don't even have this good, chasing after goodness. So on that day, none will punish as his punishment, and none will bind as his binding. To the righteous it will be said, oh, reassured, nafsa mutma'ina, tranquil soul. Return to your Lord, well pleased and pleasing. These are Imam Hussein's mother's title names. Mardiya, Radiya, Wal Mardiya. Return to your Lord, well pleased. This is for Imam Hussein. And enter among my righteous servants. So no grave punishments, nothing. You just become like you die. If you're going to Imam Hussein's majlis, you get killed. No grave punishment coming. No munkar, no angels coming. Who's your first Imam? Imam Ali. Oh, yes. Okay, go free. And enter my paradise. Udkhuli, my paradise. So, nafse mutmain. So, trying to, you don't have to fight your nafs, right? Imam Hussein didn't have to fight his nafs, right? Because his father, he was an imam, but he had a higher uh, test, we're told, the highest ever given to any. And all the prophets had cried on at the river of Babylon. So Euphrates. There was it's in the Bible. I found a long time ago, but now I can't find it. Everyone they say. No, this one time, this one verse, I was like, oh, this is about Imam Hussein, Euphrates, and all this. The river of Babylon. Hello, Islam Rain says, hello, I would love to challenge you. But why would you love to challenge me in what? In the truth? Is God with you? Huh? Okay, come and challenge me. Are you going to challenge me, or are you challenging what I'm showing through the Quran ayats, the contradictions? Challenge me, I'm nothing. Yeah, I'm not even an alim. I just come here as as I see contradictions, right? Okay, okay. Then challenge the Quran ayats that I'm showing, right? Here. Let me show you a very easy contradiction if you can see it. But please don't use my ego because challenging me, my ego. Have you ever read I'm okay, you're okay? Has God ever told you that, man has ego? Even you, as a Muslim, has an ego. You're not free from ego. Maybe you're trying to protect your ego by protecting Islam, right? Because this is your forefathers. You wouldn't want to say my mother is wrong about this religion, would you? But the Quran says, even if the truth be against your parents, yourselves. So this way coming, I can see your ego is coming up. So I have to now move away from you like Imam Ali did. Ah, God bless you. Noor Haya says, good morning. A very good morning to you, Noor Haya. Welcome. We aren't up to challenge you, rather, we hope for fruitful discussion. Yes, this very well said, Noor Haya. Such a beautiful person you are. Amazing. So no, Islam Rain, Noor Haya herself is a Muslim. Yes, so we'd love a fruitful discussion. This is what I keep saying. And if you can see, please first let's leave our egos behind. Fruitful discussion. Let's have one, Islam Rain. Then that would be great, right? You are most welcome here, Islam Rain. And thank you so much, Noor Haya. So beautiful you are. It's wonderful. I'm so honored to have you here. So, Islam Rain, please learn from your fellow Muslimah. Challenging is not the way because then my already I have demons. Please cooperate, as I said. We can have a good discussion for the welfare of all human beings. We are not here to challenge each other. We are here to learn. And even the mistakes I make, I come here to correct myself, right? Let's have a fruitful discussion. That's very, thank you, Noor Haya. I cannot thank you enough for this. So that, we are helping Muslims see for themselves. Because a lot is at stake, you see. Your souls are in, it's like, let's see. So, will you join me on freeing? What is this on the conflict of man? Then I can and the evil in this world, evil of our souls. So someone comes here and says, "You are not a sinner. You are divine," and wants to free you. Maybe we are divine. Oh, so here I reached, the conflict in human beings. I was doing this. Then I read Jiddu Krishnamurti's little bit of sample of this book on Google Books, The Limits of Thought. So, what is the thing that now acts from this will, which is ignorant, which is neutral? It needs something to operate upon, right? And so, leave the will alone. Will doesn't have then further help from Jiddu Krishnamurti Foundation YouTube, Living Without Will, because will is limited. As you get this insight, then we should let that, what Jiddu Krishnamurti says, compassion come in, love, unconditional love coming in, insight into the nature of will and decision, which is born of choice and effort. You can be free of all this, says Jiddu Krishnamurti. The blue part I just took from Jiddu Krishnamurti's YouTube on this Living Without Will. Okay? J. Krishnamurti Foundation. And then I've come here. Will doesn't have intelligence, it operates on the knowledge given to it here. Or maybe you'll say that the God knowledge. It requires knowledge or it will decide on ignorance. So be free from will, right? Now, is there something which is not dependent on anything for it to operate or move in time? Nurhaya, what could it be? Not moving, like pure awareness doesn't move, right? But just out of time, it comes, it's timeless and it's moving here somehow, moving us, moving the heart, moving everything, something in time. But what would that be? What would pure awareness be moving? So you can also for further uh, seeing, you can go through the limits of thought. You can the book is quite expensive. It's on Google, and you can go through Jiddu Krishnamurti and David Bohm's discussion. There's a YouTube video on that, 2 hours or something. So, what is the movement of what is? What is that? Let me just search out the video. And Jiddu Krishnamurti finally comes to love. And I thought, here, I was like, I was like, oh no, Jiddu Krishnamurti has come to love, but how could he come to love like that? You see, no one can explain. No one can step by step. He just comes to love. And I felt that this is not that even Jiddu Krishnamurti could not come step by step, that how this love comes in. Martika's Kitchen song, Love Thy Will Be Done. I can no longer run. I can no longer hide. Finally, Jiddu Krishnamurti comes up with love. And I'm like, oh, this love thing is. So I was denying it and I was in pain. You know, like, to love, you could be crucified. It's so terrible. Let's leave love out of this. But another thing was that how come Jiddu Krishnamurti just had this insight that it's love? Then your whole life is different. It's not that will that I need knowledge. Yes, you need knowledge to survive in this world, to become a doctor, help others, and all this also being a doctor, nurse, these noble professions, teacher, all this but that which can something be here that is complete, holistic. So audio, Krishnamurti and David Baum, Brockwood Park, 1975. Let me just seeing. He says, seeing is doing. Seeing what is action. Ooh, I mean, no one has come like this. It's so great to see this because, like you go through you feel like it's not philosophy. It's not, I know what you do, but if you're like philosophical and all this, then your mind goes like, no, but Jiddu Krishnamurti doesn't allow your mind going berserk, consistently showing you total freedom from all this. Because you see, there's so much divisions, it's time. Moses also needed in this Quran, at least, Surah a higher servant of Allah to teach him higher truths. What us human beings struggling, at least Imam Hussein didn't have to struggle with the soul. We have to struggle with our souls, this and that, right? So, have you found that something which this what is this moment, what you do is without thought, because the process of thought, this is all will, time, right? No, wait a minute. Process of thought, what does Jiddu Krishnamurti say about the process of thought? That is reality. That is the reality here we see. This is the material realm. That is reality. The process of thought, sorry, Jiddu Krishnamurti says, is reality. And time. So this is what our thoughts have made here. So is there something beyond time, beyond the process of thought, another reality, right? And it's amazing. It's amazing. It's Jiddu Krishnamurti doesn't use God and all this and force you to come here. And if you say anything against me, I will kill you. Respect me. And the speaker is extremely important. God says, honor my servants who have guided you, and be all peace be on Abraham. So we honor those servants of ours, the Anbiya prophets. And if you say anything against Prophet Muhammad, you'll be killed. Or it's like, no, our word will come true, although we have not given these people in the souls guidance that we will fill men, human beings, and jinn with, you know, fill hell. How do you say it? So Islam reign, if you want that kind of a thing, that people should be thrown in hell because God's word has to come true against the human beings and you know jinns and all this. And if you want to keep fighting, fighting, fighting with your nerves, and you want your your family, keep fighting. Very good. Oh, so humble. You people are godly people are so humble as Muslims. You have never complained to God. Even Rasulullah complained to God, we are told. Where is God's help? Where is God's help? In the Quran ayat. Even Bibi Maryam said, oh, I wish I was a thing quite forgot. Like she wished for, what do you mean? That even I didn't exist. I had gone into oblivion. If you want this kind of madness and intensity, okay, you can have the intensity without having the fear of hell and uh, all this. And a soul, my soul is inclined to evil, then all the soul problems coming up, and then Islam telling you that it's a disease of the soul. You have to believe in God, have to believe in God. People having so many problems here with Jiddu Krishnamurti seeing this. Even Jiddu Krishnamurti and David Baum had a problem discussing this, leading you to this consistently, nicely, gently, showing you without any violence in yourself that you're fighting your nafs, fighting, fighting, fighting. You see, if you fight your nafs, you'll become a fighter. It is violence. Don't be hard on yourselves. It's, oh, this is shaitan. I know. This girl, woman now has come from American style. What? Or Western. Or oh, shaitan has come to her. Well, shaitan comes to you too. Muslims are not spared. So say, I seek refuge in Allah from shaitan and all this. So you want to go take that road, it's up to you. Not that, I mean, I've been trying to help you and my fellow Muslims, my fellow, yeah, humanity, helping you. I've been a Shia. I didn't, even if I want to get rid of this love thing and push it away and sufferance, I couldn't because my life throws sufferance. So the pain I gained. Who will be with the Do you think any 2 months with Imam Hussein, pain and Imam Hussein's Bibi Zainab and all this? My father used to say, people celebrate love, they celebrate life. Who would want to be with the painful, mourning people, right? And of course, we wouldn't want to leave Hussein, the Shias. Be with the pain, be with the pain. So And now this God has told them, the polities, that why are you loving those people who you worship? You're following them, worshipping them, loving them. You should love God as much. Now there's another Quran ayat, Surah Maryam mein hai. In Surah Maryam it says, those who believe and do good deeds, the gracious God creates love in their hearts. How can there be love in these people's polities heart for those polities they worship, right? Think about it. How this has fooled you, how this religion has fooled you. So, what you should do, Islam Rain, is go and challenge God, right? Not me. I have a, your own religion says that ego is there, nafse amara and all this. You need to fight it. I don't want to fight it. I believe in love. Love can dissolve all disputes. Love is the thing which, if love can't, if love fails, then I don't know what can pass. At least the Christians have it in their New Testament, Corinthians 13. So do it in a gentle manner. No, 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 no. She's Shaitan telling us to do it in gentle. So kill yourselves. If we had, what kind of ayat is this, really? Where is it? Evidence of, oh my God, where is it? No. Let me show you. What is God saying here? Kill yourselves. If, but yes, yes, but no, but yes. Surah Nisa 66. And if we had decreed upon them, kill yourselves, then against the polytheists, God is saying they kill their children for no, they without knowledge. That's wrong. But if we had decreed upon them, kill yourselves, like commit suicide or something, kill your nafs, or leave your homes. What is he trying to say? Kill yourselves now. And they would not have done it. Well, their religion says not to, and if their religion says to kill their children, you'll say without knowledge they're killing their children, they're being unjust. So unjust, extremely unjust. And now they would not have done it except for a few of them. But if they had done what they were instructed, meaning if this killing our God could have, yes, then it would have been better for them and the firm. This is the shaitan that wants to make you fight for, okay, women oppress this, that, but what is this? What kind of a shaitan is this? This is the shaitan, not us. We're telling you, take the way of love. Take the gentle way with your souls. Don't fight. Let's dissolve this human conflict, even for, once I'm over with this problem of evil in this world. You don't have to fight yourself, even have a greater jihad. That will bring you to what Jiddu Krishnamurti says. It's in time. There's always will be another step forward. Okay, you're going, but you're going very slowly. You think you're reaching God. You have very humbly submitted to God's will. Some, what about, think of those who have more challenges when they have a Maulana Sahib, when they have such a religious crisis in the, of course they believe in their religion, but it's just a Maulana, shaitan has come in him and he's doing bad things to us. What if you find yourself in that challenge, God forbid, that our children, your children, the Muslim children have found themselves in the madrasas? It will be a little more difficult. And they are children. And maybe you got it the easy way. You never got molested by a Maulana. You never had that challenge. Or if you did, let me know. Muslims challenging each other. Your children. I at least don't have children. I'm not married. Think of that. So, psychological, you see the uh, thing it has on the being of that person, the mind of that person, of that child, even, of a lady who is being harassed by Muslims or by a Maulana. Have you ever had that? As a Muslim, I never gave that kind of challenge to uh, the women, the girls, that they would start wondering that she says, oh, she's a Muslim and Islam is such a great religion and she's teaching us Islam. Oh my God. And okay, this is like, a hypocrite in Islam. Okay, we have a hypocrite. Zahra is a hypocrite. On one hand, she's saying, I'm such a good Muslim. Islam is so great. If we follow God's ways, divine laws, that's it. You have nothing to fear. Have you ever wondered what happens to the psychology of that person who's a Muslim girl coming across a hypocrite Muslim like that? Okay, there's some work going on in the background. Easy contradiction, kill yourselves. And God is also saying, like, well, how shall I put it? But if they had done what they were instructed, it would have been better for them. Like if we even had decreed for you, kill yourselves, you would say, yes, God has told us to kill ourselves, so we kill ourselves. Then why do you say against the polytheists that they kill their children? Isn't this a contradiction? You can't tell that there are contradictions in the Quran. Toba, toba, toba. I think Islam reign, you know what it is? I think it's our ego that wants to hold on to these religious things. It's an addiction. It's a very crazy, it's an addiction that you cannot leave. They kill their children without knowledge. These polytheists. Where's the Quran ayat? So you see, no, no. Losers are those who kill their children. Surah Anam, verse 140, not Surah Isra, verse 31. Sorry, I was just going to Surah Isra. It's a Surah Anam verse. Look at this. They will have lost who killed their children in foolishness without knowledge. This is what I was saying, that if you see Imam Hussein, he had to. The children went in war. Bibi Zainab, they were only like 9 and 10 or something. On a Muhammad, it's not allowed. But when push comes to shove, also Imam Hussein had to send the children to war and prohibited what Allah has provided for them, inventing untruth. Now, who prohibited what Allah allowed? Prophet himself has done it in Surah Tahrim Ayat 1. This is such a ridiculous thing. Contradictions everywhere I see, and you don't see it. I feel so sorry for you today. You are blind in your ignorance, in your brainwashing, in the brainwashing that this God has done on you. And you want to throw everyone in the fire. Don't do it, Islam reign. Save humanity. See, loving ways, gentle ways are not Satan. Live life. Let the atheists go higher in material realms. One day they will realize, better take the Hindu way, maybe reincarnation, maybe they'll come back to learn. Even though right now they don't, that all of a sudden they're just thrown in hell. One life. People are have Jiddu Krishnamurti is the most gentlest, consistent. You see how people have problems? Fight with this God against save my people, not like you saved more Pharaoh people, the Israelites. You see, giving people more problems, more problems, more problems, and the conflict. And how are you going to come up with a challenge for me? From which side will you come? I will give you Shia side, you will just gone. Sunni Islam is gone. Which side are you going to give me a challenge here? Against the people. People sincerely want to see this. I wanted to sincerely. I was like, so even with this, you know how much a true teacher who's showing you has to have so much. Jiddu Krishnamurti says, don't give importance to the speaker. See what the speaker is saying. We are trying to find out here what the truth is. Now, tell me, as your God said, how the truth operates in this world. Hmm? How does God operate? That there should be no conflict, nothing. Timelessness. Oh, that we are to kill our nafs. Fight, fight, fight. Imam Hussein had to fight the nafs of, but he didn't want to go to war. He fight, fight the nafs. So there are people who are sincere. A Sufi said that until and unless your faith is not broken, because you see, there and then is where the ego, you have no security then. Then you look at it. Very good saying of a Sufi, I think, a Junaid or someone, that until and unless your faith is not broken, you cannot come to the truth. Either you're coming to the truth because you are, I got it now, because it's an addiction, it's ego, it's that ego security given to you. Given to your ego, you don't see it. Okay? So I will continue later. Thank you so much, Nur Haya, and hope you realize this Islam reign so that we can help Muslims come out of this jungle, this ignorant, satanic religion. Thank you so much. God bless you all, your country, your people, your family, your loved ones. And what if my prayers don't work for even me? My mother's prayers failed. What then? So that's why I have to come here do this. So then we don't have to, we are free. Then we're just maybe listening to God and not without desire. Can you believe if we had no desire, no need? Just empty ourselves. Oh, pray that I succeed for this and pray that no. And then human suffering, and then we're praying, or sometimes we're suffering and we're praying. And God is where? In all this? Sending messengers who have failed to even guide us. Even Jiddu Krishnamurti, people coming sincerely to see this, and they had problems discussing because it's very difficult with words and language for them too. Jiddu Krishnamurti and David Bohm. But this Islam is like it's shoved in you. Mercy of Allah, this, that. On the other side, shaitan. Every time shaitan comes, say, I seek refuge in Allah. So I can pray for you, but hope that God listens to my prayer for you. I've seen that my prayers have been unheard. We need to get humanity out of this sufferance. So where does sufferance come from? What is hurting? I used to ask myself when I was in 1990 in St. Joseph's College. You see, why is it hurting? Maybe some psychological pain I couldn't get anymore, like that. And where the tears come from? Why do we cry? Is it coming from the ocean? Saucer? Huh. So like that, right? Okay. So more than prayers is setting you free and myself from all this sufferance here and pain. Pain will be there, they say, but sufferance is the choice. Oh yeah, let's not get this. But pain is there, and yeah. And what is the thing that can set us free from all this desire? But let's do it in a way that we don't scare each other. That if you have desire, you will fall in the fire. Yeah, like too much desire out of Islam, and you will fall in the fire. Please don't do this to people. Thank you so much. I will come back later. Wish you the best and a beautiful, wonderful day. Wish you lots of love from God, or love is the greatest. So when I wish you lots of love, it's that you are loved, right? Love is the greatest. Corinthians. Okay, I leave you with the Christian Bible, New Testament, Corinthian. Faith, hope, love is the greatest. From faith, hope. For now, although I'm not a Christian, and I leave you with the Hindu thing that Radhe Krishna, Radhe Krishna. Or maybe you can even use Shiva. Nothingness is great, but there is something here. So we need to know why. And I'll be working that out in my mind and then coming here to guide you. Thank you for being here, three of you. And thanks to me for the like that I liked my own. Thank you so much.